The night the village almost tore itself apart is one I'll never forget. I was just a young boy, sitting in the shadows by my grandfather's side, listening to the arguments that echoed under the great baobab tree. It was election season, and the whole village had come together to discuss who should lead us. But instead of unity, there was shouting, finger-pointing, and anger so thick it hung in the air like smoke. Two men were at the center of it all, Kojo and Mensa. Both wanted to be the next village chief. Kojo's supporters said he was strong and decisive. Mensa's people claimed he was wise and thoughtful. The arguments had started small but had grown like a wildfire. Now families weren't speaking, friends had turned to enemies, and the village felt like it was breaking apart. "Silence!" My grandfather's voice cut through the noise. He was the oldest man in the village, and when he spoke, people listened. "This is not the way. We cannot let anger choose our leader." The crowd quieted, but the tension didn't leave. I could see it in the way people's jaws clenched and eyes darted around. My grandfather looked out at all of us, his face heavy with worry. "Let me tell you a story," he said. And so he began. Many years ago, in a village not far from here, there were two brothers, Kwame and Kwaku. Both wanted to lead their people. At first, their competition was friendly, but soon pride and jealousy crept in. They started insulting each other, and their followers did the same. The village became divided. One day an elder warned them, "If you keep fighting, the gods will punish us." But they didn't listen. Soon after, a great storm came. It destroyed the crops, flooded the fields, and left the people with nothing. The village was in chaos. Desperate, the brothers went to the shrine and begged the gods for help. But the gods replied, "We cannot help you, only you can fix this." The brothers realized their pride had brought this upon the village. They knelt before the people, apologized to each other, and vowed to work together. From that day on, they led side by side. They were known as the People's Choice because they ruled with unity and for the good of all. When my grandfather finished, the crowd was silent. I could see people looking at each other, shame flickering in their eyes. Finally, Kojo stood up. He looked at Mensa, and for the first time in weeks, he smiled. "Grandfather is right," he said. "This isn't about us. It's about the village." Mensa nodded. "Win or lose, I'll work with you to make this village better." The crowd erupted into cheers. The tension melted away, replaced by laughter and handshakes. Now, years later, as Ghana prepares for another election, I think back to that night. My grandfather's story saved our village. It taught me that elections aren't about winning or losing. They're about choosing leaders who will work for peace and unity. And this is especially important for us, the youth. We are the energy of this country, we are its future, but too often we are the ones used to create chaos during elections. Politicians promise us money or favors, and some of us take to the streets to cause trouble, but we are the ones who suffer in the end. I want to remind my fellow youth of this. Elections are not about fighting for a politician, they are about voting for someone who will work to improve our schools, our jobs, and our futures. If we use our strength to build peace instead of chaos, we can make Ghana a better place for everyone. So when you vote, remember, power belongs to you, not to the politicians. Use it wisely. Choose leaders who value peace, unity, and progress. And no matter what, don't let anyone use you to destroy what we've built together. Quietly return home after casting your vote on the 7th of December and stay safe. One Ghana, one people, one peace.